exec board meeting. Yeah. Okay. Call this meeting to order at 11:09 p.m. Director of Legislative Affairs.
Present.
Director of Student Technology. Here. Director of Finance. Here. Director of Outreach. Director of Internal Affairs, absent excused. Vice President, absent excused. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Approval of the minutes. They have been sent to you.
I second.
Moved by Susan, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Now is the time for public comment. Welcome and thank you to those members of the public who are present in this meeting. This segment of the meeting provides the Executive Board an opportunity to hear new concerns and new perspectives on current issues related to the UW Tacoma student body. The Executive Board will neither discuss nor debate topics raised in public comment. This is not because we don't value commenters' perspectives, but to ensure any related action is taken transparently before a duly notified public at a future meeting. However, directors may ask clarifying questions of those giving public comment or request to meet to gain further insight after the meeting. In addition, ASUWT is committed to fostering a constructive and respectful environment in these meetings. As such, we kindly ask that all remarks made during public comment reflect professionalism, respect, and come from a place of mutual understanding that we're all here to advocate on behalf of students. With that, I begin public forum, in which we have none. Yes, right.
It's okay. It's been a minute.
So impressive.
Oh my God.
It just, yeah.
You could do that, so you don't have to say it all.
You motion to do that.
Two.
True.
She could hold all the signs.
True.
Just have multiple signs. Oh my God.
That could work.
I don't even want to entertain that motion. Okay. Unfinished business, we have none. New business. Beginning with legislative updates from Ben Brown.
You want to let Mariah give spring updates first, and I can give ledge updates?
I mean, you're first on the agenda, but if you want to concede your time and we could swap things around, that's fine.
I can. That's fine. I can just go ahead. Okay. So the legislative session has not been super positive, to put it bluntly, because of the $12 to $15 billion budget deficit, depending on who you ask. The state is facing a lot of cuts and having to find alternative sources of revenue. Basically, what that looks like for us right now is both the Senate and House proposed their budgets last week. And to put it frankly, neither one looked great. The House proposes a lot of cuts. A lot of those cuts include departments within UW. For example, the Harry Bridges Center for Labor Studies, which is located up in Seattle, which I have done work through, I've done an internship through, is looking at probably having, according to what they put out, about a third of their budget with what the House proposed. So we're looking at severe cuts with the House budget. On the other side, with the Senate budget, we're looking at a lot of revenue increases that are not exactly equitable. Specifically, we're looking at a lot of tuition increases. A bill that was proposed that Holly, myself, and Ashley both spoke on last week that was proposed by the chair of Ways and Means, basically allows the state to increase tuition by an extra 5%. Cuts the award amounts for the Washington College Grant, and basically allows institutions to charge basically verbatim from the bill, the amount necessary to out-of-state students attending school in Washington. What that basically means is they can charge out-of-state students whatever they want. So I need to provide some clarification on how in-state tuition versus out-of-state tuition works. In-state tuition is subsidized basically by the state. So whatever you pay as an in-state student is not technically what it costs to run the institution. What institutions charge out-of-state students is what it costs per student to run an institution. So basically what their argument is with that is they can charge out-of-state students the amount necessary that they need to basically keep the school afloat.
Wow.
To put it blunt, to once again put it bluntly, the ones that take the brunt of this are students. We either have to, we're either looking at more students, financial aid being cut, which means less students will be able to afford to go to school, along with tuition increases, which is going to increase that number of students unable to afford higher education. On the flip side, we're looking at severe cuts. And a lot of those cuts, unfortunately, the way that cuts like that are typically decided on are they cut areas that are not viewed as profitable for the school. So a lot of that means that they cut urban studies programs. They're going to cut PP&E programs, EGL, ethnic, gender, and labor studies programs. I mean, there will still be cuts to the business schools and stuff like that too, I'm sure. But those schools typically, and like your STEM programs as well, typically those are seen as more profitable for the school. So they will typically do less cuts to those types of programs. Does anyone have any questions?
No, that just sucks.
Yeah.
It's like great news. Like you said, nothing positive's coming out of this right now. So it sucks.
I don't think you have the answer to this, but have we seen a breakdown from UW Seattle or from UW Seattle's lobbyists of like what other specific programs would get cut and whether it's from you or also seeing on a Tacoma campus level what would get cut?
I have not. I haven't personally seen anything. I have also not had the time or capacity to dig into these budgets, but basically the way that it looks from what WSA has talked about, what Ashley and I have talked about, and just the general situation of where we're at on the state budget. Basically, we're going to have to make a choice on what we're, and as students, I think we've already kind of made our statement on that we don't want those tuition increases. Those tuition increases are going to more heavily affect UW Tacoma than it probably will like UW Seattle, because a lot of UW Seattle students I believe Seattle is probably more likely to give out scholarships. They have other programs that they can give scholarships through, as well as generally just because of the circumstances that a lot of the students that end up going to UW Seattle come from. A lot of them come from more affluent backgrounds than at UW Tacoma.
Do you have those budget numbers, right?
I'll have to look on the Ledge website to pull up the budget, but I can look for that and send it out.
I was going to look at them too, so I was like wondering.
There's, well, my computer just died. There's a really good, I don't know if it's a nonprofit, but there's some organization that supports it. They broke down what the budget proposals are for like what this would impact, like healthcare, higher ed, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, there was. Are you talking about, so earlier in the session, the state Dems put out something that basically highlighted how much money was being cut from each department?
It was something more recently that came out. I don't know if it was the Dems. I think it was some other group that pointed out, like, okay, under the Senate proposed budget and under the House proposed budget, these are the things that would get cut.
Yeah.
And then this is what it is currently.
I can't speak on that because I don't think I've personally seen that.
It might have been something that Nancy said in the BOD chat.
Let me see if this is still.
Oh, I got the link. I'll send it in the chat. There we go. For those watching, it's on educationvoters.org.
It's education. It's
The League of Education Voters Foundation.
Okay.
I see. This is the breakdown. Okay.
Yeah, of what it is currently and then what the Senate budget proposes and the House budget proposes.
Okay. I'll look at that.
Do you want to talk about the rally that's on Friday?
Yeah. So, actually, thank you for reminding me that was Friday because I was trying to remember what specific date it was. So, this Friday, the WSA and the Washington Bus, along with obviously student governments and are organizing a rally for this Friday to try and basically put pressure and just show the legislature the impacts that these financial decisions that the state is making are going to impact students and institutions of education. So that'll be this Friday. It's not going to be so organized like the Huskies on the Hill, obviously. So I believe we have buses.
Nope.
They're so basically it'll have to be transportation. You're providing your own transportation down. We were trying to arrange for buses, but I don't think we were able to make
No.
that work.
They were being weird with Nancy and ended
Yeah.
up.
Because I think the bus was going to try and do more of the logistics side of it, but I don't think some things worked out.
All they're providing is DoorDash credit. So if there are students there that want food, they can DoorDash food, but
Cool.
that's not okay.
Yeah.
So what?
Did you have a
That's
question?
helpful.
I would just, you already answered it.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, is it at the Capitol?
Yeah. It'll be at the Capitol steps. They put out a timeline. Let me see.
So this Friday the 4th at the Capitol
Mhm.
and at the steps.
There's
Yeah.
an email that'll go out.
So the rally itself.
I just wanna make sure.
So there will be, I guess, sign making. I'm assuming at the WSA office happening from 10 to 10:45. They're giving students around 7 to 10 a.m. to travel to Olympia. So basically, the events of the day will be starting at 10. There will be sign making until about 10:45, and then attendees will march from. Again, I'm assuming the WSA office to the Capitol steps. And then the rally will be starting at 11 and will go for most of the day. Students will, after the rally at about 12:30, students will also have the opportunity to go into the Capitol to try and meet with legislators in the hallway, talk to them about the importance of this. So definitely get the word out to people. And I know it's kind of short notice, but try and attend so that we can hopefully try and get something to benefit students because it's been a rough year.
Thought that just came up in my
Yeah.
mind, Ben. We can talk about this later, but since we have some extra Huskies on the Hill sweatshirts, and because they are dated, if we have students prove that they went down
Yeah.
and they send it to us, do you think we can just
Or
give
we
them
can just
out?
bring them with us and
Hand
hand
them-
them out to UWT students.
You can also take a bucket of snacks.
Yeah.
It's not, great, but it's something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure there's some like protein snacks in there too, like.
Yeah.
Nuts and, pop. What are those chips called? Like Poppin'?
Oh, the popcorn chip
Yeah.
things. Or
I know what
whatever.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
whichever.
Oh.
But it'd probably be good to get rid of them. Like they're pretty cool sweatshirts, but they're dated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't use them next year, so.
Okay.
okay.
Cool. So that's basically it for ledge stuff. It's been a rough session, but we're getting through it.
Congratulations. For going through it.
Now to Mariah.
Hello. I hope everybody had a really good spring break and had some time to relax. We have a lot going on this quarter, so I'll just start off with basically the email that I sent out a few days ago, and then I resent it this morning. It says action required. It's about involvement fair, Husky Fest, block party, end of the year bash, which end of the year bash was just brought up by Moira, so it wasn't in the email. Involvement fair is next week, April 7th through the 8th, 11 to 2 at WPH. Husky Fest, April 19th. It's 11 to 3. The location is, I don't know, to be honest. Yeah. Prairie Line Trail. And then Block Party is also on Prairie Line Trail. Oh, Husky Fest is on Commerce. Okay. And then Block Party Prairie. Okay. So Block Party is the 15th. This is an opportunity to meet new students and get them excited about being a Husky. So I would really like it if somebody came because it's on a Saturday. So everybody should be fairly available, I would think. The end of the year bash, Moira is putting together with another department, and it's going to be kind of like wellness week. There's going to be like a petting zoo. There's going to be some artists there, all kinds of stuff, snacks, music, activities.
What department?
That's a good question. She told me, and then I forgot. I wonder if she.
So I imagine it's CEF funded.
I think she said that it was one that she was involved with. So
Oh.
I have no idea. Let's see what else. So I'm making it required that everybody do at least an hour of tabling time for all of those events. So like 1 hour total. It's not much. There's also a survey for the campus master plan. I'll be posting something about it soon, but if everyone could take that survey, that would be great. Just to let them know if that's what you like, if you don't like it. If nothing else, it's very interesting to look at to see what the future of the campus could look like. I also made a content creation form. So if anybody needs content created or wants something reposted, then you can fill out that form, and then me and the multimedia specialist will be monitoring it. Yeah, that's my updates. I think that's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Anybody
work.
else?
Make sure you sign up. Do you have a deadline for when you want people to sign up?
You don't have a deadline, but preferably 2 days, 3 days before the actual event, so we can get a head count as far as like coverage goes.
Okay.
So,
I'll reply on your email.
okay, thank you.
And I guess we're now to director updates if you have questions.
Just want to keep mine pretty brief. I'm gonna submit something for spring allocation to go and get that French getting covered for. It's due like next Friday, but no, in a couple Fridays on the 18th. So I'll have that in by then. But that's it.
We submitted the first draft, or like, would you consider a final draft? Or we submitted a document to to the necessary people on our campus. We should be ready to submit it to the Office of Budget and Planning on the 4th, after we have our meeting finalizing everything For UAC, we're planning on doing a lump sum of, I think, 35,000, I believe. 18,000 of the planned and then additional 17,000. We haven't been able to get communication really with other STFCs, so that's what we're planning for. But once everything's finalized, we'll bring it to you guys for voting.
Advisor updates?
I think I forgot what my meal appointment was. I don't know why.
Okay, yeah. So welcome back for spring quarter. As Susan was saying, STFC, SAFC, and NSCOF initial documents for review by the Office of Planning and Budgeting are due on Friday and will be sent over by most likely Cherie or Sylvia. Yes. Most likely by the end of the day, but let's say 3 o'clock for our team. I saw 1 o'clock in the email.
Doesn't
Let's do that.
NSCOF need to come talk to us first?
Technically, they all do. These aren't the official, well, not
Okay.
SAFC, but NSCOF does. They're not the official ones.
Okay.
They're just the ones that are going for initial review by OPB to then come back to us on the 11th. Technically, while STF may have all their ducks in a row by Friday, they don't have your approval yet. So they'll be coming hopefully next week once the conversations happen. Are you going to add something?
Yes, and that being said, when we submit it to the Office of Budget and Planning, it'll be pending exec board approval. That's the wording we'll be including.
We technically really would need that approval by the 25th of April. So that's when the final documents go to the regents for their consideration and then for their addition to the agenda on their May 8th meeting. Don't quote me, but yeah. So all that's fun, exciting. The things coming up that kind of spring quarter is obviously very busy for the whole campus, but there's a lot of great programs, milestones. Mariah mentioned a bunch of them, but also Earth Day is coming up on April 22nd. We'll have a thrift pop-up. We'll have ice cream. We'll have Pata succulent. We'll have a bunch of stuff to celebrate the Earth, and we're hoping that it's nice out. Some things to keep in mind for the Center for Student Involvement, same hours as last quarter. There is making sure that we're wrapping up all the things. The Oscars are coming up on May 2nd. Deadline for submitting nominations is Friday, this Friday coming up by 5 p.m. So we have a bunch of awards, so please submit a nomination. Next week, we will be doing voting for Student Choice Awards. Oscar starts at 5:30, doors open, 6 o'clock ceremony. Ceremony should last till about 7. We will be serving heavy, or what do I keep calling them? Heavy hors d'oeuvres, heavy appetizers, and dessert. So not dinner, but enough to eat and graze.
Anything else?
Ben, do you have a? And then lastly, elections for student government are obviously happening. Campaigning begins tomorrow. So no one should be campaigning until tomorrow. Just be mindful that if you are not eligible to run next year and you are still a member of student government, that you are impartial. You cannot endorse individuals on a personal level or an organizational level. If you are running in the election and are eligible, then please make sure that none of your ASUWT credentials or profiles or privileges are used in the process of campaigning. Sound good? Don't make work for Melissa. She's doing a great job. Starting off with our campaign tabling next week on the 8th out on Gillenwater Plaza. If it rains, we will be postponing till the 10th. And if it rains on the 10th, we will be still having it on the 10th, but it'll move up here into the UWY, but it'll be outside. That's about it.
Cool. I concede some of my chair updates time to Ben since he has 2 other things apparently.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go.
One thing, Governor Ferguson is doing a press brief today at 1 p.m. on state revenue. So people do want to know what the governor's plan is for the budget and increasing revenue. There's that. Also, I was just reminded as well that at the federal level, Senator Booker from New Jersey has been maintaining a 20-hour filibuster on the Senate floor. There's no, so it's not
You're
technically
welcome
a
from New
filibuster.
Jersey.
Hmm?
You're welcome from New Jersey.
Yeah. It's not technically a filibuster because there's no bill on the floor being argued against, but basically what this is a show of protest against the cuts that have been made by the Trump administration that are affecting working people within the country, making cuts to Medicaid, Social Security, stuff like that, veteran benefits, as well as the Department of Education. So hopefully he gets past the 24+ hour mark, because if he does, he will beat the current record for the longest filibuster, which was against the Civil Rights Act. So that was it.
Cool.
Yeah.
For chair updates, few quick things. One, we have 73 days left until the end of our terms. It sounds like a while, but when you consider that we started at 365, wow, time has flown. But as we're coming to the end, do you know what we do in spring quarter? I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to guess.
We are supposed to write up our,
Like
our meeting off, what is it called?
transition.
Legacy documents.
Thank
Transitioning
you.
legacy
I'm so
documents.
glad I didn't have to say it. So,
I have
legacy documents, that is what I want everyone's priority to be. I don't know if you guys remember what legacy documents you got. Alicia, you obviously
Mine's
had
gonna be the same.
yourself.
Yeah, so mine's gonna be the same, but it's
Yes.
already done.
So-
Just a little bit.
We all did a lot of great work this year. And I don't want that to stop because the next generation wasn't properly informed about how to do their job. So that being said, I'm going to be very strict with legacy documents this year to make sure that they're done well ahead of time, to the point where in an exec board meeting, I want you guys to present your legacy documents. Yes, and be able to provide feedback.
I don't think that should be during an executive.
I think that should be like because I think that'd be like more than an hour.
Okay. It can be an off-record meeting, but regardless, I want us to be able to present it to each other
That's
to
fine.
provide feedback, because that provides an opportunity of like, hey, but my position actually interacts with yours a lot. You don't have this. Let's make sure to include that kind of thing.
I think that helps, but I think that's gonna take longer than a 1 hour executive board meeting.
'Kay. Then let's plan for that. I'm thinking, I don't want it during midterms, but I want us to have at least some kind of close to final draft by the middle of the quarter. We can discuss more logistics in a little bit, and I'll send this in an email too. But I want us to have a comprehensive legacy document for every position and be able to talk to each other about it. So whoever comes in, there's no questions, because we won't be here to guide the next generation. We need that document. And ideally, whatever we put together, it won't just be the next generation that looks to it. It's something that's built upon by people who come through.
Are we using a certain format, or is the one I have already okay? Like, are you gonna have like something like?
I tried to put together a template last year and people didn't use it. If people will actually use the template, then can put together one.
Mine looked like it was a template
Okay.
that was used by Nora. So
Yeah.
maybe it was just the one that you used.
I'll put together at least an outline, and you guys can put of like what needs to be in there, but how it manifests, like how it comes together, that can be up to you. If you want to make it look pretty in Canva, put it in Canva. If you want to make it as a like Word document, that's fine, but it needs to make sure it includes things in a way that's digestible and easy to understand.
You're looking at me like
Hey, you're just in my general direction, Ryan. It's not you. No, I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on you.
No. I think something that's been really helpful with my previous ones has been making like a table of contents
Yeah.
and linking it.
Yeah.
So that if you click whatever section that you're looking for, like let's say I'm looking for how to plan an event.
Yeah.
Then I click in, it jumps down. So if you just like anchor it, then it's
Yeah.
super
Links in your like own file.
Yeah. We just can't use Google Docs, but Outlook still has that, or
Yeah, Outlook has
Office. But that's the intention. I don't want us to do this at midterms, but like around the middle of the quarter is when I would like us to have at least a close to final draft for us to present to each other. And then by the end of the quarter, we have something that we can say, here you go, next person and beyond. Sound good?
Would you guys be opposed to having that like presentation time, training meeting thing for a weekend?
I was like, can we do
Like
it
on a weekend?
Because I think I would be more open to
Yeah.
doing a weekend than a weekday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
can
like-
make it like a retreat almost if we want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if people are open to a weekend, let's do a weekend. I can order food and we could call it a day.
Yeah, because I think making it more open to a weekend would be better than having to juggle between
I'll
classes.
definitely be more available on weekends.
Okay.
So,
Then we'll do that. Cool. Aside from that, if you're graduating, make sure you file for graduation on time and please walk the stage. I hear you guys not talking about graduation or not wanting to walk across the stage and it'll be lonely up there. So please walk.
I won't be able to walk this year.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
wait, no,
because
that's
of
right.
fall.
That's right. Cause fall.
It's just that marketing 450 class.
I'm so
Health
sorry.
Administration is listening. Offer during the summer, please.
Talk to Kevin about it.
Appreciate
Also, you have to follow what quarters.
And then I get
The other
to
thi-
2026.
Other thing too is make sure you're finishing and filling out the hour tracking forms.
Yes, thank you.
I did.
Good.
Yay.
Yay.
Fill them out.
It's not gonna be helpful for me, yes, but it'll be also helpful for whoever's in my position next. I think it'll be
Yes.
helpful, so.
If you think your position deserves more pay, we got to show it to SAFC. So do it. Okay. That is all. Is there a motion to adjourn?
She motions and I second.
Moved by Susan, seconded by Alicia. All those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Motion passed unanimously. Goodbye.
Bye.